teacher tip. Yes. Well, let's talk about the V2. The teacher tip of the week is
Is
Lizzie.
the fact that you don't even need to have the actual hardware to still play around with the microbit. So, as part of our collaboration between Microbit and MakeCode, as you can see, once we open up the project, you could that we have a simulator. So everything that you code in MakeCode, you can see in real time on the simulator, and so you don't have to. If you don't have hardware, that's totally fine. If your classroom doesn't have hardware, that's totally fine because you can just use the simulator. And it's also great for when you want to test out your code. Maybe you don't want to download it every single time to test it out. And so I think it's just it makes it much more accessible because all you need is, internet access and computer to be able to play around with the microbit.
And even then, you don't really need the internet access because you can open this in your browser and it will cache. You can go offline with it and
Yes.
you can
Yes.
program anywhere.
Yeah, all the code compilation happens locally. So once you have it, I will not demo that because otherwise I'm gone. That's really important to say. The simulator is there, and we've been talking about the V2, so there's definitely something we've done to make sure you can both support the classic and the V2. The new microbit, it's support in the simulator for the V2. Now,
Yes.
the way this works, I think what are we going to do is you're going to find V2 blocks. We kind of sneak them in the editor because right now
Mhm.
it's just hitting the market, but they'll, they'll go up. They'll eventually get with their more buddies upstairs. But these are blocks that are specific to the V2. It means it's using, let's say, the microphone. There's no microphone on the classic. So if you start using this block, so for example, I'm gonna add the event that handles a loud sound,
So
which
yeah, you don't
obviously,
need to do anything special. You don't have to download it. The V2 blocks are there. That's kind of our expert tip. Did you know? Because it's even if you don't have a microbit at all, if you have microbit V1, you can still play around with the microbit V2 features, and it's all already in MakeCode, just waiting for you to use it.
and if you pay attention, there's like a little stamp here, V2. You can see the notches. The notches are here. There's just like in the hardware. There is a very cool LED that shows you that the microphone is on the microbit. It's really hard to show it on the camera, but it looks amazing on the physical device. And the faceplate is golden now. It's actual. I think it's gold. Is it gold?
Yeah, coppery
Yeah, it's
gold.
gold. Yes. Yes. All right. So full V2 simulator, and yeah, let's make sure it works. I'm gonna say, oh no, too loud. Boo, too loud. So in this case, I think it's the slider here, and this is my sound level. So if I reach high enough, then I hit. So I'm simulating the sound level. And yeah, I could test my code and didn't have to have a V2. So if you don't have yet the hardware, it's coming in the mail. You can use the simulator. Anything else, Katie? Some tips for the teachers?
This is it.
Yeah.
This is the basics are here. Everything you need is in MakeCode. Don't be afraid to try it. And the activities at microbit.org let you actually give lessons to your students remotely today. Kids can create technology today with this simulator and the dozens of free lessons at microbit.org. It's all there.
Right. So microbit.org has a bunch of activities ready to go that use the V2. If you remove a block that uses V2 and you end up being compatible with the V0, you'll see the V2 button disappears and you're back to the classic simulator. That's really a visual indicator that you're writing a program that only works with V2 versus the classic. So if you start to have a mix, you'll see that that's very helpful. The simulator is there.